Everybody, another Ancient America video here for you today. Some more lost history. Today, this afternoon I should say, we are going down to Kentucky, Butler County, right along the Green River here. This is called the Annis Mound site, and this is near Morgantown. Right down here, there used to be a city here, right here along the Green River. Let's take a look at what it used to look like. Here's an artist's conception of what it may have looked like here. This is smaller than the Nodina site that I talked about earlier today. But a big platform mound was here. But this comes from about 1,200 years ago, they say, even though it looks just like that Nodina site. And that one, they say, came from about 650 years ago. Well, this one goes twice as far back into history. So do we really have the dating right here? Well, I don't know. Here is an old pic of what was left of the platform mound here a long time ago. Here is a pic from over 100 years ago. 4 ladies on the mound, and it says $10 fine for climbing on the mounds. Well, that's interesting. But today here on Google Earth, there isn't really much to see, but there must be a rise down here somewhere where the village started, or I'm not sure if where the mound is, maybe right down here. Here's a shot coming out of the trees at the site, and you notice there is a change in elevation there, right there. Here's a look at some excavation work that went on here decades ago. They found a lot of pottery here. They found artifacts from Cahokia here. This is called a Middle Mississippian period place, but it seems like there's a lot of names, and it all gets a bit confusing, but coming from maybe 1,000, 1,200 years ago, they say. What's really interesting about this site is just right nearby here, and I mean really close, there is what they call the Carlston Annis Shell Mound. This is where Google Earth brings you into, and you notice that right there. I believe that is the remnants of the mound. Let's just read about it here. I think it's very interesting how far back it goes in history. Excavation work began here in 1939 by the University of Kentucky, and this was also part of the New Deal jobs program. 399 human burials were found here, as well as 28 dog burials. Here is a look at some excavation work, and they excavated a lot of mounds here in this general area about 80, 90 years ago. They found copper artifacts, shell bead artifacts, sandstone discs, hammerstones, hearths, fire pits, and the further down they went, the further back in history they got here. It says a lot of the artifacts came from around a period between 5,000 and 3,000 years ago, but the earliest dating of artifacts that come from the site date to around 5400 BC, almost 7,500 years ago. Whoa. Now I want to move on to some other videos. I could not find a lot of pics of artifacts at all coming from this site or any information on the burials, but they did say deer antlers was found near one of the burials, and here is a chief or a priest or a shaman, and they were depicted with deer antlers at some of these Hopewellian sites in their burials. The Annis Mound Village here, pretty close to Morgantown, goes back 1,200 years in history. The nearby Carlston Annis Mound goes back almost 7,500 years in history. Seems we learn something new every video. And that is really weird. I challenge you to go out and try to find some information on that Carlston Annis Mound and any artifacts found there. Or at this site, it seems pretty sparse, but I want to move on. That'll give you a little homework. So that's more lost history coming from ancient America here. The Carlston Annis Shell Mound, directly due west of the Annis Mound Village here on the Green River, pretty close to Morgantown. Kentucky, Ohio, Tennessee, this whole area is full of ancient ruins. That's more lost history coming from ancient America. Might have another video, a little music coming up for you later today, or very soon. You never know. Hope you thought that was interesting. You all have a very safe day.